Hello and welcome to Film Companion South. You're watching another Tolly review. My name is Hriday Ranjan. This week's movie is Aswathama, directed by Ramana Teja, starring Nagashaurya, Mehreen Pirzada and Jishu Sengupta. I believe that if people are not writing interesting enough stories for you, you need to start writing your own stories. And Nagashaurya has done that with this movie. He's written the story. And right off the bat, the film starts on a front foot. Because there have been many movies about psychopath killers, but the modus operandi adopted by the antagonist of this movie is really unique. Now, we all have been reviewing films for nearly a year, and we have this practice among ourselves where we kind of try to predict what's going to happen next. We're like, hey, you know what, this is going to happen, or that's going to happen. But in this film, the writers smartly avoid these cliches. For example, there is no sister sentiment posturing. There's nothing like, you know what, I'm going to fight to protect the dignity of my sisters. Also, there are no cringy song and dance sequences that are forcefully fit in because the audience needs a hard-on every 30 minutes. By the time the film enters its second half, you're actually curious to know what's going to happen next. But unfortunately, my pet peeve with the film is that it lets go of these moments a little too easily, a little too quickly. It's like you're waiting for something to happen and they have your interest, but nothing happens.
Hello, Dr. Shalini. Hello. Em jarigindante?
The film well and truly arrives when Jishu Sengupta's character arrives. It's an interestingly written role and it is well portrayed. I personally also liked what they did with Mehreen Pirzada's character because we over here generally complain about women's roles not being fleshed out properly. Here the makers treat her character with a little dignity, with a little intelligence, with a little respect, and that is nice to see. And when you see the actresses in these roles, they look like a completely different person if you have watched F2. However, it is Nagashaurya's character Gana that is a bit of a seesaw. Of course, one understands the pressure of inserting heroism into his role, but that particular aspect sits shakily with the overall tone of the film.
Hello, Dr. Shalini.
Hello.
Hey, cut chepte pagilipodi cheptuna. Dr. Shalini, nenne em jarigindante nenu Hari Babu bike మీద వెళ్తున్నా.
In spite of the competent characterization, what lets down the film is its screenplay. Because some of the scenes seem to be going around in loops, and the other thing about the film is that it grabs your attention, but quickly lets go of the tension. The other thing about the film is that when you're watching a thriller, all great thrillers have a very smart antagonist, and that's what keeps you glued. Here, the writers manage to create an antagonist who goes to great lengths to hide his tracks, and yet he is inexplicably dropping hints all over the city like a pigeon with a bowel problem. Aswathama as a film makes a few bold choices in its writing. However, it does not leave you with the aftertaste of watching a great thriller. It is one of those films that lie in the middle, and at the risk of sounding like Sadhguru, I would like to say that how you feel about the film completely depends on whether you're an optimist or a pessimist. For my final verdict of the film Aswathama, I would like to go back to the Mahabharata, to what Yudhishthira said to Dronacharya. The film Aswathama has its own strengths, but a few weaknesses. Also, as a side note, there was another film that released this week called Chusi Chudangane, which we could not review because I have dubbed for a small role in the film because I have the face of a dubbing artist. And also Shalini has acted in the film. So there is a conflict of interest, which is why we couldn't review the film. However, please go watch the film because we are going to be reviewing it on Twitter in a few days, maybe tomorrow or day after. That's it. Thank you for watching our review. For more such interesting videos, please subscribe to Film Companion South by pressing the bell icon.
Hello, sister.
Hello.
Good morning, sister.
Good morning.
Hey, my sister తో మళ్ళీ మాట్లాడితే నీ పొక్కలిడ్సా కరోనా వైరస్ ఎక్కిస్తా.
సార్ ఈమె మీ సిస్టర్ కాదు సార్, చర్చ్ సిస్టర్. హల్లెలూయా.
హల్లెలూయా.